Grand day, amazing souls. How are you feeling? So it's definitely a vibe. Okay. So we've stepped into the cycle, the universal cycle of the 1 year, right? And I've been telling you guys that since October, these energies have been coming in. So what you're expecting to see for the cycle 2026 began in October. So, the name of this transmission is going to be the final exam. So, I've been hearing about all of these tests that people were coming up on, people were enduring, right? And I never quite liked using the word test because the universe is not so much of a test. However, we can call it a test because we all understand that analogy, right? So back to what I was saying, I've been hearing about all these tests, and I know for a fact I've been passing. And like I said, we've come to the final exam. And the universe wants us to see what we've learned, how we put that we've learned into perspective, right? So this is where we are. Although I know for me, I've passed all these tests, but it's just like being in college, right? You go through a series of tests and then you come to the final exam for me to show myself the work that I've put in. Because I know for me, I look back many a times this year and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just sitting. I'm just sitting. I'm in limbo. I'm in the hangman position. And that has not been it because I was shown that this rising. And I'm grateful because I've been patient. I've been very patient. And because I've been patient, the universe is giving me glimpses and giving me pointers that I need to keep on moving. Because sometimes we can be like, look, universe, what the hell is going on here? I've been sitting for years. I feel like a lump on a log. So those who've been connected with me and following me throughout the 2025 cycle, right? There is something that we've been through, working on and through, tested over and over and over again. And like I said, we've come to the final exam. This final exam is going to usher in new energy because it's going to bring about an ending. And remember, things have to end in order for something to begin. And I made a video about this a couple of months ago, speaking about, I think it was like the bag or something like that, get into the bag, something like that. And I think I don't know what people thought, but the video didn't do that well. But if you would like to check that out because it was very pertinent to what I'm speaking about now. When I was receiving the crown load for this particular transmission, an amazing soul sent me this right here, right? And it was just confirmation for me that what I was receiving was definitely on point. I also wanted to make a point that sometimes, just sometimes, we can overcomplicate things, right? And what I mean by this is the simplest tasks can be overthought of. And I'm going to tell y'all what my final exam is. I know my final exam is going to come with an ending for sure. And, you know, I think the universe was bringing me to a place where I can be detached or start detaching from it now because it is going to be something that is challenging to process. So if you've been following me this 20 in 2025, most of what I've been working on, which I spoke about very often, is boundaries, right? And I'm also creating something around it. So stay tuned for that. I'll let y'all know when, where, and how you can access that as well. Check out my bio link in the description below. I have some amazing offers and services there. Check that out. Peace. Thank you. Great gratitude. So, the universe showed me the one that final exam that I have. And what I was speaking about as far as us overthinking things, I'm going to tell you how simple it is, especially for me. The one test, the final exam that I have is to hold up a mirror to a particular individual. And, it's simple, challenging, but simple. So I dare you to look back on 2025 and see what it is that you are being tested on, tested through. See where your growth is, right? It don't have to be a whole list, but what is one thing that you worked on in 2025 and how will it apply to your 2026 and moving forward? Another thing I want to add is we've already passed the test, right? But what's initially about to happen? You know how you're in college and you're taking all of these tests throughout the semester and you're passing all of these tests. So you pass the class. That's what is happening right now. However, if you fail the exam, it only means that this energy is going to show up in a different place, in a different space. You won't know how, won't know when. You don't even know what is going to show up. It could show up in a dog. You just never know, right? So just be mindful of the energy of this test. Sit with yourself, pay attention. That is how you progress, that is how you move forward. I urge you to look back, take a couple minutes, journal, immerse yourself in the now, and ask your higher self, okay, what have I worked on? What was the most challenging for you 2026? And you will see. I know for me, when I study the numbers, it always shows up. I told y'all my address, and that is what I've been working on. So if you need assistance with that, connect with me on a numerology reading. You can also book a reading in the bio link in the description below, 633. And if you haven't heard it today, I love you. I love me. I love us. I love we. Love your final exam because it's going to take you to the next place. All right? Have an amazing rest of your day. Happy testing.